what's going on? Let me make sure I'm unmuted. Make sure these people can hear me. Okay. It's been a crazy week. First off, I want to thank all the support in the community. I get it. People in the chat was saying, Addy, you should be used to this. You and her broke up before. Breakups doesn't matter how many times they happen. They're not easy. Okay. I was with this chick for 3 years of my life. All right. Going from her being here all the time to not here was a change of scenery that I had to cope with. Okay. And that's it for that. And I appreciate everyone for working with me, being patient with me. I appreciate Dirt for checking up on me. It was an event, man. It was a time. It was a time. But that's over. As you guys see, we back. It's been like a month, I think. I don't know.
Yeah.
I always go how many IOPs before I see an Addict show between them. So I think this is 3 weeks. We missed 3 weeks. This is the 4th week. Yeah. So not necessarily a whole month, but it was close to a month. But what's going on, you guys? Welcome back to the Addict Show. We talk about the past, present, and future of gaming. I got co-host with me, Dirt Green. What's going on, Dirt?
Addy, glad to have you back, man. Life happens sometimes. We all know what happens. Things happen sometimes. Glad to see you back, man. Glad to see you. Cool, man.
Yeah, it's obviously, well, you guys see the show. This is going to be a very Xbox centric show. I think I'm going to surprise some of the people in the chat. I read that chat. Don't act like I don't. I saw some of you popping in here before the show even started. I saw some of those comments, man. But it's not going to be this giant negativity fest that you guys are into the assumption. Okay, I got one nitpick, not nitpick. I got one huge issue with this whole Call of Duty thing and this whole Game Pass thing in general. We will get to that here recently. What you been playing, Dirt? What's been on the Dirt's agenda?
Oh man, I've been trying to finish this game. Lost Judgment.
That's
that's like same people that made the Yakuza games.
I remember that.
Yeah,
didn't it do horrible if I remember correctly?
No, it's great. It's just it's a little long. Now it's at the point I'm
all
like,
those games are long, like excessively long.
Yeah, too long, bro. It's like I'm like 40 plus hours in, and I did no side missions. It's like legit 40 plus hours. I'm on the last chapter, but so I've been playing that. Trying to finish because I bought it at launch 2 years ago, but never did finish it. Just trying to finish it and move on to something else. But that's what I'm playing right now. I did finish the game. Still Wakes the Deep. Because we haven't done the show in 3 weeks, so I finished that game. Game was amazing.
I heard that's like the 6-hour game. I should have did a playthrough on that.
It didn't even seem like it was 6 hours, to be honest. It seemed like it was like 4, but I guess about 6 hours sound about right. It's no like fighting. It's like you run, like a slow. It's like a walking sim, but I enjoyed it thoroughly. So
yeah, I think that game seems pretty solid. I haven't really had a hard time making like general content. But streams are a little bit easier because you have the chat to go back and forth. You're playing games. It's a little bit easier to do that. Yesterday and today's the first videos I've made in a minute. The views have been low because when you don't make content for it was like almost a month.
Yeah,
it hurts you, man. And the algorithm they be saying, nah, boy, you have to build that tolerance back up.
Yeah.
So yeah,
plus the news has been light. Or like until this Game Pass news, bro, we had not a lot to talk about for real,
Yeah, the good thing is I don't know if I'm allowed to say it, but I am playing a game that's coming to Game Pass, and you put in the chat, then it is what it is. You put in the chat. I didn't read the embargo, so I'm not going to risk. But I am playing a game that's coming in Game Pass here soon. Be lookout for content on that.
Oh man, you playing? Oh, that's crazy, man. I'll ask you after the show if you're playing what I think you're playing.
Yeah, it's probably what you think I'm playing.
Yeah.
So let's get first thing. Let's get into it. Let's talk about the state of Xbox in 2024.
Mm-hmm.
The first thing I want to go into is just the services in general. I kind of want to break this down from hardware, services, games. I had a fourth one, but I forgot the fourth one. And just let's say overall ecosystem. I want to get into the ecosystem first because I feel like that's a something that they're doing extremely right.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Xbox arguably has the best ecosystem in the industry right now, by far. You can attack from the PC market, from it looks like they're about to get into the handheld. They got the cloud computing, they got hardware. Like you see, there's so many avenues that they are building up for. And I feel like in 2024, you see them doing more and more. They just did the what is that thing? The Neo for what they just streaming thing. They just parked up a streaming company.
Neo, hold on. Nvidia. Oh no.
Nvidia.
Yeah,
I think.
Nvidia, what is it? I can't think of the name of it either. Hey, somebody in the chat to help us out.
The biggest thing I didn't like about that is the Fire Stick. I didn't like how they.
Oh, you talking about the Fire Stick? Oh, you talking Amazon Fire Stick?
Whatever Cog sent me a trailer. I didn't like how they was making it a scary movie.
Oh, yeah, you're talking about the Fire Stick. Okay.
And they kept saying that you don't need an Xbox.
Yeah.
I just like that's my biggest problem with the ecosystem is like generally all my issues is a console related. Like I get it from a standpoint, all of this isn't really necessarily bad if you already own the console, but I want the health of the console. And I don't like when they do these commercials where they just play out and say, you don't need the console. And they said it multiple times. Yeah. I did like how they did like a scary a screen thing. It's like, what's your favorite video game? I did like that, man. But but I do feel like the ecosystem is doing well. In general, we see Call of Duty, we see the Activision deal, the Bethesda did a few years ago. I do see Game Pass going up dramatically in the next couple of years. I see we're going to, probably do a little bit more of a handheld next gen. But as far as like the ecosystem, do you think there's anything they can improve in terms of the ecosystem as of right now in 2024?
I mean, there's always room for improvement with everything. Besides their first party content, the roadmap for their first party content, I think looks incredible. But there's always room for improvement with everybody.
I think their marketing could improve a little bit.
I mean, of course, but me personally, some people look at that commercial. You don't need an Xbox. They look at it as a negative way. Some people look at it as they're just showing that that you have other options besides the console to play their games. Because at the end of the day, the console is very important, but I think what's more important is people playing their games, people subscribing to Game Pass. I believe that's showing that, it is more important to play their games on PC, on, cloud, Amazon Fire Stick, on console. So I think that's what they're trying to get out there. But some people look at it like, oh, they say you don't need a console. Well, technically, to play their games, you don't.
I guess to me, I feel like there's a better way of like when you have multiple brands that are kind of competing in the same thing, I do feel like there's better ways to promote both without shunning one. You know what I'm saying? Like they could easily say like, take your Xbox on the go or something like that. Because that's my biggest thing is I just don't want the console to go away. And I'm not saying it's going to go away or anything. I'm just saying that when you're not properly marketing and you're like kind of hitting the split ends to you don't need an Xbox, I feel like that is the perception's everything. And I think that when it comes to stuff like that, it's just that's my biggest thing when it comes to the marketing. It's like you could probably find a better way to market that doesn't tell people not to buy one of your platforms to support one of your services.
Okay, let me ask you this. First off, the Fire Stick is not on the go. You're still at home. So how?
No, I was talking about the cloud thing with the Starfield.
Oh,
they said you could play Starfield on the go. That's what I was talking about.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, we all have different opinions about it. It bothers some people more than others. I realized that over the years, man, this gaming industry is not how it was 15 years ago. It's just not. It's not. And I think once all of us realize that, Microsoft is usually the first ones to innovate, usually the first ones to do things. I mean, help. But first of all, PlayStation now was the first one to try to stream games. But Xbox usually is the first one to go out there with their innovation and try to do something. And, sometimes people don't like it. Sometimes people reject it, but then they see that actually worked, like, broadband with the original Xbox. People are, what the hell is a broadband? Nobody wants that. That's not going to work. But obviously it did work. So I look at it like this. I'm a 47-year-old man that has lived literally through all console generations. And it's just evolution to me. It's just that Xbox is the first ones to do it. Them saying no console, no Xbox console needed. Okay, yeah, that's definitely going to rub some people the wrong way. But at the same time, this is, like I said, this is not 15 years ago. The consoles are definitely still important, but they don't mean as much as they used to mean. It's more about playing the games, playing the software, subscribing to Game Pass.
I guess that's where, like, we align back in the middle. Is I do agree with you that the industry's drastically changed. I mean, we've seen it it's changed just since Fortnite came out, and that wasn't that long ago.
Right, it wasn't. Right.
So, I think, to me, because I do see Xbox as like a vital point of the console, that's why it's like, I feel like Microsoft should do a better job at just kind of conveying that message. And I think, like, what gets me is, like, we see these leaked emails where they're commenting on the sales of the Xbox. And I think that's where we're different a little bit. Is I'm just like, I don't like, internally, they're like, why isn't the console selling? But then they're making commercials telling you don't need a console. So maybe my beef is more with the people at the top that's setting unrealistic expectations to the people making Xboxes and making games for Xbox.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. Now, I'll say this. I'm sure Xbox want their consoles to sell more. Of course.
I do too.
Of course. They definitely want their consoles to sell more. But if you look at, I see some ponies in the chat. If you look at PlayStation, right, the console is selling great, right? PS5 is selling great. 60 million out there.
It's still down too.
But why are they changing their strategy though? Because if everything was all great with PlayStation console sales and everything is great, why are they changing their strategy of their software? Why are they putting their games on PC?
You want my opinion? I think it's corporate greed.
I think it's corporate greed?
I think everything's corporate greed at this point, because all these companies made all this money during the pandemic, and I've been told by people in the industry that these companies aren't trying to let that profit go, and they're doing whatever it takes to maintain that profit. Because most people, you would see a 30-40% hike. It wasn't that. It was higher than that during the pandemic, and they're not going to just go back to the shareholders. I know we sold 100 million of this, but we're only selling 70, which is more realistic. But at the same time, I'm looking at those numbers and I'm like, you should never have assumed you were going to get these type of money back after the pandemic. Like, it should have been one of those things where it's like, we eating right now because the world can't leave their house. But I do feel like all companies want that money after the pandemic.
Yeah, of course. I mean, of course the corporations want their, like, they want to clone what happened a few years ago. And obviously the pandemic is over, but they still want that pandemic money, like you just said. So I understand that, but I mean, that's how businesses are. I mean, even you as a regular person, if you had the opportunity to make more money, you're going to do that. I mean, that's just how it is. So I don't, blame a corporation for doing that. It's all about what the consumers want. If they're okay with it, if they're not, might as well try it. Now, Tony says, yeah, the PS5 is outselling the PS4 by 8%, right?
Okay, you was looking
at yeah, I was talking about the other one. So that's my point exactly. If it's outselling the PS4, like you said, it's corporate greed. Maybe that's 100%. Maybe it's 50-50. Maybe it's corporate greed, and maybe it's the old way isn't as sustainable as it used to be, right? We talk about this so many times about the budgets and stuff like that.
And plus it's hard to make those quarterly bumps making standard games. That's why you saw them push so hard for a games as a service, because they wanted a couple to stick. Because if a couple sticked, they would not need the God Awards and stuff as much. They'd still make them, but they wouldn't need them. I'm sure that PlayStation looks at Xbox with Minecraft, Elder Scrolls Online, Fallout 76, WoW, Overwatch, and I'm sure they're envious towards those successful
100.
games as a service that PlayStation will probably never have. The closest thing they ever had was Helldivers, and they messed that up, all the way messed that up.
100%. And you got to realize PlayStation is a very popular console, so those third-party games are being played on PlayStation. And PlayStation see the numbers. They want their own games as a service, and like you said, it's harder than it looks, because if a game like Helldivers comes out or some other games come out, those games might initially have a hot start. Then sometimes they flame out, and then people go right back to Fortnite and Call of Duty Warzone. So it's difficult having a successful games as a service, bro. But listen, all I'm saying is that back to our original point, all I'm saying is that the gaming industry, is not as familiar as it used to be. People think it's just Xbox changing their strategy. No, it's obviously PlayStation is changing their strategy also.
Oh, and it's so much PlayStation's changing their strategy. I think here in about 2 months we're going to be having this conversation again.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm just saying, I don't know what you're alluding to, but there's a reason for that, because the old way just isn't as sustainable. Xbox and PlayStation. Nintendo is still doing their thing because, maybe their games doesn't have the budgets. Their first-party games sell way more than Xbox and PlayStation's first-party games on their consoles. They just do. So Nintendo, and plus their budgets of their games isn't as much as a Spider-Man or a Halo or whatever. So Nintendo is still doing their thing, but eventually I think maybe even way in the future, Nintendo might have to do something if their budgets start to go up even more. Maybe.
Yeah, their games cost millions. Like, you could argue that their games cost more than Microsoft games by far. Like, maybe like a Fable or a Perfect
Nintendo?
Dark. No, I'm talking about PlayStation.
Oh, absolutely. I thought you were talking about Nintendo.
Nintendo. Nintendo builds games off of like the dollar menu at the
no,
at the
honestly,
McDonald's.
no, that's a good question. Like a game like Zelda, Breath of the Wild, or whatever the last Zelda was. What is that like? Like, what would you think? Like a maybe $50 million budget?
Probably like 100, including the marketing. I don't know, maybe 150, including the marketing. They probably spent double what they made the game with on just marketing. Because you remember that
they
that
sold about 30 million
everywhere. Yeah, they do really well. Let me ask you a question that I was talking to Cog about. Do you think, now obviously there's still gonna be Jack? Let me get this super chat real quick. Okay. We got a $2 super chat for the Angry Therapist. Addict and Dirt back together again. Welcome back.
What's up, the Angry Therapist? That's the homie right there, man.
So my thing when we look at this from this standpoint is, I've always felt like there's too many armchair developers in the industry. There's too many people that feel like they know how games are made. They know how, including people like myself. It's like a bunch of uneducated people when it comes to like the intertwines of like the gaming development portion. When it comes to marketing, do you think if the industry was more upfront and more transparent, that they would get less flack when they knew how much is in stock for some of these games, how much they cost, what went into it? Because I feel like they need to be more open with that. Now, obviously, there's still going to be people that hate. There's still going to be people that armchair develop. But I do think there's a lot of people in the middle, a lot of people, especially influencers, media, that it's like a year after a game came out, they had a documentary on the whole development of the game, telling you how much it cost, what went into it. When we see people leaving, we all sometimes we say, oh man, 8 people at not Playground Games, the Initiative, it's a wrap.
Right.
And then they said, no, the reason they left was because of this. Even if it's good or bad, this is the reason they left. And I feel like if people knew a little bit more behind those metrics, we would get more understanding to why things are done the way they're done.
Addict, let's be honest. If that happened, that's doing nothing but fueling the console war. Even if they broke it down, this game cost this much money, this many employees left, We hired this many employees. It took this many years. Somehow, some way, it will fuel the console war. But I mean, I totally understand what you're saying. I mean, being transparent, would that help? Maybe. But at the same time, some people might not care. Oh, I don't care. You're $1 billion corporation. Do better. Stuff like that.
I want one on Halo Infinite development.
I would love to see one about Halo and 100%.
Because I know a lot of stuff that probably will never go public.
Mm-hmm.
And I wish you guys knew.
And
like Halo Infinite coming out in the state it was a miracle in general.
Yeah. And I love Halo Infinite, but I would love to know the story about what happened. Hey, I see some people in the chat earlier talking about, it was a little bit about 2 minutes ago, how PlayStation bounced back after the PS3. They did bounce back, but they also had help.
Yeah, right? They bounced back from what? Good games, and that's what Xbox is developing right now. Good games.
See, my point is they bounced back, but Xbox also helped them with some bad decisions with Diametric during those years.
And Square Enix did too. They sold them their shares back.
Yeah, there's always a little, like PlayStation. They've always been a monster. Don't get me wrong. But they had some help also. Just like hell with the 360. As much as that's one of the greatest consoles ever. Xbox had help with PlayStation 3 dropping that $600. Nobody wanted to see that crap. They was like, what? But also, PlayStation, they started to realize, like you just said, Addict, okay, let's focus on games. Because I think the best thing that happened for them was their PlayStation, what was the name? Move failing.
Oh, the
Move failed. They say, okay, let's focus on
what do they call them? The okay, I'm not gonna say because it's inappropriate, but it looked like something else. If you didn't know,
I know what you're saying. I know exactly what you're saying. But then Xbox, no man, Xbox One era wasn't bad at all, bro. It was just
the media overblown.
The media just Xbox One era. And PlayStation totally. Xbox made some decisions that people didn't like at the launch of it. And man, because they had a hell of a launch line. The first 3 years,
to this day, people still claim that E3 that year was nothing but the media, and it wasn't. That was the reveal event. That's how much people don't know what was going on.
E3 was actually good.
It was games. That's where they showed Project games, Spark. Bro. Like I'm pretty sure that was part of that. Like there was so many games. Which is funny, a couple of them got canceled, but that's besides the point. But there was a lot of games that came out those first couple years.
Rise, Son of Rome.
That's why that's why I'm so big on how they're marketing stuff, because sometimes it doesn't matter what quality you have or what you have. It's the perception of the internet and how people perceive your brand in general. And at that time, they had the better games. For like 2 to 3 years, Xbox had the better games.
100%.
But the internet already determined who they wanted to win that console generation. And that's my thing is I don't like giving PlayStation any room to hang Microsoft. I want Microsoft to give them room to hang PlayStation. Like,
hey, Addict, you are 100% right. What you just said, they had better games for the first 3 years. Like Iron Mike said in the chat, Titanfall, Killer Instinct. They have Dead Rising 3. They had Rise of the Rome. They had some great.
I mean, even though Scalebound got canceled, there was a lot of hype when that game got announced. Like a lot of people was looking forward to that. Yeah, that's why it's like the most famous Xbox game ever existed, and it never.
See, now this Flame guy, he's actually he knows his stuff. When I'm seeing, I don't know if he seems to bash Xbox and kind of throw shots at PlayStation both, but he seems to know his stuff. He was right. Xbox stopped developing on a 360 way before the PS3. Like you said it before, Addict. He was like, people said, well, the PS3 eventually outsold the 360. Yeah, but they stopped making 360s. Yeah.
That's like equivalent of saying like the person that finished like first in the marathon, he's like, oh, he caught up eventually. Yeah, he did. The dude already passed the finish line. What doesn't matter anymore? Like,
facts. Hey, Ben says great lineup. Diametric actually tried, unlike Phil. So Phil isn't trying. Oh, come on, Ben, stop it.
Diametric is the reason the platform's the reason it is now.
Listen, you brought up Diametric, not me, Ben. You brought him up.
When people bring up Diametric and compare him to Phil, they're nothing alike at all. Yeah. Diametric, I know for a fact, is the reason that Xbox is in a lot of the shit that Xbox is in. to this day. Sure, they've had a lot of time, and I think a lot of the issues were kind of like, the hardware and everything was like wrinkled out. But the problem is even back in 2013, it took a few years of getting bashed through the media, and then a few years of that of getting bashed through the media because of the dry spell. There was a time where like 2 years they wasn't really developing games. They wasn't greenlighting games. They wasn't spending any money.
Clearly.
It all goes down to the failure of the Xbox One launch and how bad it was to Microsoft as a company, whether or not they wanted to continue doing it. Now, if they would have decided to continue quicker than they did, I think we would be getting some of these games a year or two ago.
Yeah, I agree with you, bro. We agree on that one, that's for sure. What's up, Bone Slave? How you doing, brother?
Let's get into the games, because we're going to talk about the services last. Because Game Pass service, obviously we need to talk about that. Xbox games, the state of Xbox's games, man. What do you think? What do you think's going on right now? I say mine afterwards.
Well, Addict, you and I, we haven't spoken since the showcase. Well, after the showcase, we haven't spoken at all. I would tell you this, man.
Yeah, I got dumped like 2 days after the show.
Oh, damn, man. so you were on the high from the show. Well, I don't know how you felt about the showcase, but after watching the showcase, I mean, we know they had these games cooking, but those games showed well. That's why the showcase was such a success, because they showed well. Now, if South of Midnight went out there and looked like trash, or Fable looked like trash, people would say, yo, that showcase was trash. But those games was there and they looked great. So in my opinion, the first party looks great. The best it has ever looked for Xbox. I think we can all say that. They still, they're cooking like everybody else is cooking also, but Xbox is cooking. They have content. 2024 looks great. 2025 looks great.
I don't think they're going to run out of content for a very long time.
I agree with you. I mean, it's like this, Addict. Even though they bought two huge publishers that might keep some of their games multi-platform, they have so much content in development under the Xbox umbrella, and I wholeheartedly agree with you. It's going to be very difficult to have another drought like they did in maybe 2022. And so I feel the content looks incredible, bro. It looks absolutely incredible. And if you're an Xbox fan, I think you should be happy with the game.
I think when it comes to the content itself, 100%, no one can complain what's going on right now. We had two shows back to back. That was stellar shows. Last year, great show. This year, great show. I think I gave this year an 8.5, and I didn't give it that 0.5 because of release dates, because I still want those release dates. But I loved everything out there. There's very few things that wasn't at that show that I wouldn't have went out and played.
But we did talk about the show. Now that I think about it, because I remember you saying that before. I do.
Yeah, I think it was a phenomenal show. I think maybe this year's. I think this year's was better than last year's.
Oh yeah, it was.
Yeah,
and
I really liked last year's,
good.
But
this year,
and maybe the reason that I know this is good. This is me. This is just this is selfish Addict. Okay, I'm allowed to be selfish. I had a docket because Call of Duty was there. Like, I don't care about Call of Duty. Okay, now the people in the chat that love Call of Duty, I'm sure you was slurping that up. When Call of Duty came up, I went and got on the phone while that stuff finished out, because I'm just not a Call of Duty person, and I get it. I get it. That is such an iconic title. They finally had the rights to that game. They would be stupid not to put that on that stage. But me as Addict, I could have been watching. I could have been watching those info commercials that's at like 12 o'clock at night, showing you a random doll that you should be buying, and the 10th caller gets 15 of them for free.
So you personally, you don't care about.
Yeah, I just COD didn't do nothing.
That's
but
fine. That's fair.
Well, I will say, what I saw the COD when I was paying attention, it looked more appealing than I've seen previous years. Now it's in Game Pass, and Microsoft might send me a code. So I'm willing to try it out. I don't know if I'll play the multiplayer. I think that's the big reason I completely got turned off from the multiplayer of COD, like completely. You know what I think killed it? It was Titanfall. I don't. I
Titanfall?
have not seen Call of Duty the same since Titanfall. Maybe that's
Titanfall
like,
1. You talking about Titanfall 1?
Titanfall 1.
Titanfall 1 was fire, bro. That was a good.
Yeah, I just have I have not seen Call of Duty the same since then. I do play zombies from Call of Duty though, so I'll probably pop in there because apparently they're bringing rounds back. I haven't played zombies really in years, so I didn't know it went away, but it's coming back, so I'm okay with that.
Still around, I guess. Yeah, it's still around though. Yeah.
Someone say Colin Moriarty's in the chat. Are you lying, Will, or is he really in the chat? How would you even know? I'm sure you could like
his name.
Huh?
I didn't see his name.
I'm sure you could like but I'm sure Colin isn't going in to streams with his real profile. Like, I'm sure he's going into streams with like a fake one. Maybe he was saying Colin Moriarty's in the chat from something he said. He was in the chat.
Nixie said he was in the chat.
I mean, it's not like we're gonna move on. That's kind of irrelevant. But look, I think they're, in terms of games, Microsoft, and I will even say this, and I know people in the chat are going to disagree, Microsoft potentially could have a better lineup than Nintendo. Because Perfect Dark, Fable, Gears, The Outer Worlds 2, Elder Scrolls 6, Call of Duty, that one game that's being made by that single player AAA title. There's just so many games that's coming out in the next couple years. Blade. And by the time these games go through, the people that's made games the past couple years are going to be ready to launch their game.
Yeah. That's a great point. Yep.
Like, they have made a well-oiled machine that, as long as they're nurtured correctly, because obviously we can say what we want, we got to see the actual games. But most of these studios that they bought, I have faith in. You know, Compulsion was one of the ones I was iffy with, but after I seen Compulsion's game, I was more on board. They actually surprised me at that showcase.
My game of the show.
It looked amazing. Looked
my
phenomenal.
Game of the show. Yeah, I agree with you, man. You know, all those years, you know, Phil is active on social media. We all know that. Of course, he can't like a lot of posts. He can't respond to a lot of posts. But he's active, and he saw all of the Xbox has no games. He saw, you know, Xbox guys like, hey, man, Phil, we need some games. He saw PlayStation guys talking trash. He saw that, and he knew they had to do something about it.
Oh, Shattered Space too. That's just a DLC this year.
Yeah, that looks good. That looks good. Nixie said these games need to be compelling enough to break.
They don't need it. They got Call of Duty. That's the biggest compelling mainstream game you can own.
That's funny. Yeah, I mean, every game is not going to hit, right? Nixie, every game is not going to hit. I mean, even PlayStation has some games that don't really hit like you think they should, right? I mean, you know,
they got so many games as a service. I'm tired of seeing them at these conferences.
Who you talking about? PlayStation?
No, Xbox. They got so many games as a service that are successful. I'm tired of seeing Sea of Thieves at these conferences.
They're gonna be there.
I'm tired of seeing Elder Scrolls at these conferences. They got so many.
Fallout 76. It's gonna be there.
They need their own show just for games as a service.
Hey, I used to be like that with Sea of Thieves a couple years ago, but then I just accepted, and my boy said, "Dut." Yeah, my boy Shaun said, "Dut." They're gonna be there, bro. I said, you're right, man. They are, because they're successful games as a service. They're going to be at every conference. As long as we know that, they're usually not too long at it. They're going to be there. Sea of Thieves, Elder Scrolls Online, Fallout 76 are 3 that will be there every show. They used to show Minecraft every show. They don't really show Minecraft like they used to.
Didn't they? Last time they showed Minecraft was like the 4K texture package. And
that was like 2017.
And then when it got canceled, like, let's not put that back up. Like, people might ask where that's at. Like,
yeah. But Minecraft is still like doing well. That's crazy, bro.
I think at the end of the day, I think we need to, what's what I'm looking for? We need to understand that the pursuit on PlayStation fanboys is never going to end with these consoles games. because it's like I said a couple years ago, PlayStation had a certain amount of time. The time's up. Like Xbox, what we have 2024, we have not playground games. We have Indiana Jones, Avowed, Hellblade, that RTS game. I keep forgetting what it is. The gods.
Aura. Or
No,
Age of
the
Mythology.
gods one. The Eighth Mythology.
Yeah.
You I'm sure you have Starfield with its expansion, Diablo with its expansion.
Stalker, are we counting Stalker 2? Even though it might be a time exclusive, we should definitely count that, right? Like they count third party games, right? So we can count it too, right?
And that's just this year. Next year you have Fable. You potentially have a Gears because there was a lot of rumors that could come out next year.
South of
Midnight. Oh yeah, Flintlock's coming out this year. Like
that's coming out next week.
Yeah, the amount of games. Yeah, Diablo's on PS5 too, and that's
but it's first party. But it is first party.
But what I'm saying is, like, I still give PlayStation the show, and that shit ain't only on PlayStation. If you want to get technical, Concord, that's on all platforms.
He says on all platforms. Concord on all platforms.
Not on Xbox, but you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like Concord's on PC. You know, they might put that on
Doom is next year. I know it's multi-platform, but it also is but it is first party, you know.
Yeah, Doom. Look, they got a lot of stuff going on. And when I give them criticism, it's not for their games because I see nothing but positive stuff with their games. Now, obviously, some of them we got to see. I got to see more on Undead Labs. I got to see more on that game. I corrected myself.
State of Decay 3, yeah. I thought, you know what? I love State of Decay, so I thought, the little snippet of gameplay they showed a few times, I thought it looked great, bro. Just me personally, but I love.
No, it looked good, but I got to see more like the.
Oh yeah, I want to see more stuff too.
Gameplay. I want to see how they evolve the formula of State of Decay. Let's go ahead and grab this. $5 super chat for the Angry Therapist. This Game Pass news overshadow the problem PS having with Wolverine. Devs being overworked and some leaving. Sony caught a break. Well, maybe they knew it was happening.
I did see the head narrative person, the left Insomniac. Listen, man, people leave all the time, but if that was Xbox, though, if that was Xbox,
you know what's sad? It was like obviously I haven't been on Twitter as much. I haven't really done a whole lot the past couple of weeks, but I have been on Twitter throughout the day sometimes, and I haven't seen one person tweet about that. I didn't even know about it until he just said that.
Yeah, but like I said, like people leave all the time. I don't want to act like this is something that's weird, but if it was Xbox, if this game was Fable, the head person of Fable left and went to CD Projekt Red, people would be, guys like your boy J-Dub be tweeting about it. Red Dragon, oh my God. So, yeah.
We got to take their mounts up, man.
No,
if they don't do it, we got to.
Hey, they gonna talk.
Hey, you know what's funny? Like people are telling me I don't keep the same energy with PlayStation news. It's like, okay, first off, I do. I tweet about PlayStation all the time. I tweeted about their increase on their sales. I tweeted about the fact that Starfield got more coverage than raising the subscription service of PlayStation Plus by like 40% or some crazy number like that. I do. But the biggest thing is I don't care about that ecosystem. I don't. I like the games that they produce, but I don't care about the ecosystem. Their ecosystem's trash for the most part. You can't even do basic features on there like gifting. You can't gift on that game. What is the point in having a cart if you can't even gift? Like, does Xbox have a cart yet?
Yeah, I believe so.
I don't know.
I believe. Hey, y'all help us out. I believe they do. I know you can gift stuff on Xbox. Definitely, I believe they have a cart. Yeah.
The games are the ecosystem. You playing a console for the UI? No, I'm talking about the ecosystem as in the overall aspect of PlayStation, the UI, the controller, the games, like the ecosystem is the entire thing. The ecosystem isn't just the game. That's software. You idiot. Software is games. Ecosystem is the whole industry of PlayStation. How they treat their customers. That's why when you see me talking about Addict is gifting number one to you judging a console. Yes, gifting is an extremely important platform. It is ridiculous Nintendo and PlayStation don't have that. It is absurd that Nintendo and PlayStation don't have a way of buying gifts and sending it to people. That's not a minority thing. That is a pretty standard thing when it comes to the gaming industry. Steam has it. Xbox has it. Steam has it. Steam's had it for years, even before Xbox. It's okay to say it doesn't bother me, addicts, but I understand why you are upset that they don't have a pretty basic feature at this point. It's crazy to say I can't feel that way about PlayStation. You know what's crazy, Dirt? Where's the people in my chat saying doom and gloom? Where are they now? That's just me. But I don't care about the PlayStation ecosystem. Maybe it's because a lot of it's in like Japan and stuff, and you don't really see the people talking a whole lot. So it just feels like a console. PlayStation generally just feels like a console to me. Xbox feels like an ecosystem.
There you go.
Yes, PlayStation customer service is god awful. Xbox isn't much better because you can't even get a hold of anyone. Have you ever tried to call customer service on Xbox?
Nah, I never.
It's not the greatest experience, but
never had.
It used to be good. It used to be good, but PlayStation. I had my friend Tyler. He got a PlayStation account. He got his PS4, and he called them and he gave them his credit card information that was on the account. Told them all kinds of stuff, and they looked at this man dead in the eye. They said, "You got to start a new account."
Damn.
Because he didn't know the password.
Damn. So
they are famous for having really bad customer service. Now, Xbox, once you get a hold of someone, they're usually pretty good. Now, I can't use me in a particular thing because most of the time if I tweet with some like issue on the Xbox hardware, I have someone at Xbox usually messaging me that's following me. So I can't use my ideal situation for everything. But usually when you do get a hold of someone at Xbox, they do solve your issue. It's just it's hard to get a hold of someone at Xbox. And that's just not Xbox. Customer service, I feel, in the entire every industry has just went downhill in the past few years. Like sometimes you try to get a hold of someone, you're not getting a hold of anyone. Like at all. And then they say, well, send us an email. No, I'm not sending you no damn email. All right, $5 super chat from the Angry Therapist. I consistently gift games to my niece and nephew. Love that figure. I'm going to assume he said feature, so that's what I'm saying. It's feature.
Yep, you said feature because you sent another one too.
Oh, $2 super chat features. Well, you could have. Yeah, PlayStation has a horrible return rate too, don't they? Return policy.
That's what I heard. Yeah.
What's funny is you can generally return stuff at Xbox, and now occasionally I have a little bit of issues with them. But you buy stuff for Nintendo, PlayStation, that's yours. That ain't theirs anymore. That's yours.
Don't try to turn it back in.
Didn't they tie that to like place that you get better customer service for something if you like a PlayStation Stars or something, you get better customer service? Then they locked that behind some kind of paywall or something.
I remember something about that. I don't know what happened with that, but I do remember that it was like tiers of customer service. If you were Stars, it was the best customer service. Hey, who was that? Was that Bone Slave said the Red Ring of Death era was the best customer service. Listen, bro,
they had no choice. You know,
they had to, right?
I will never forget. I was talking to this chick on customer service. It's the beginning of that. It's right when Titanfall came out, and my controller was messed up, and I was talking to her about something completely different. And she's like, well, is there anything else that you have issues with? Controllers. I'm like, yeah, actually, my controller started messing up for some reason. I don't know if that's something that you guys could do. And she ran like, oh yeah, it's under warranty still. She's like, well, what controller is it? I said, man, I'm gonna be real with you. It's one of those basic controllers. Everything in me wants to say it's a Titanfall controller, but it's not. It's one of the basic controllers. And she's like, I'll get one over to you. And she's like, the funny thing is people don't know is the serial number the Titanfall controllers had was like, they knew what controller it was just off the serial number. And tell me how I got that controller, and it was a Titanfall controller.
Are you serious?
She sent me a Titanfall controller.
Wow.
Got a free Titanfall controller. I don't know what happened to that controller. Like, I have 5 controllers. I have this Pro controller. I have this Starfield controller. I have
that Starfield controller was dope.
This maroon or whatever you want to call it.
I got that one too. It's still in the box. I ain't never opened that piece.
I even have a PS4 controller.
Oh, snap.
It was someone supposed to come get this and they never showed up.
Hey man, what is this dude? Hold on, who is this dude, man? I'm about to block this dude, man.
What?
Somebody talking trash about you, bro.
Yeah, get rid of him.
Unless it's your friend or something.
Nah, get rid of him.
Adams. Yeah, get out of here, bro.
Yeah, get rid of him.
Punk.
Look, man, I'm working on. In case you ain't noticed, my teeth are all messed up. I fell and messed some of them up.
Hey man,
I'm working on it.
Explain nothing this piece of trash.
No, I'm explaining stuff in general. Dental work isn't done overnight. It happened like 3 months ago. I'm about to have all like these like front ones right here pulled because I have something called GERG. GERG is where like my stomach doesn't settle right, and then there's like an esophagus right here. There's a muscle in your esophagus. My esophagus, the muscle in there never formed, so like my stomach is constantly going back and forth, and that muscle isn't there to stop the fumes, so it's completely messed up my teeth. And my doctor told me when I was 14 I would lose my teeth before I was 25.
Really?
It didn't happen. I was able to keep them 32 almost, but I will say the past like 3 years, my health on my teeth has dramatically dropped. And I think maybe it's because I've just gotten older and maybe my teeth just aren't handling stuff as they used to, but they have dramatically got worse.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into it, man. Let's get into it. We're going into services now, so pretty much the only thing we're going to be talking about right now is Xbox has raised the prices to Game Pass. Let me see if I can find a good thing showing it here. Hold up. I'm sure someone. Okay, so let's show this because this seems pretty fair. This seems pretty fair. Yeah. Okay. They have raised the prices to Xbox Game Pass. So let's do this. Let me find the actual post and then we'll go to that. Here it is. All right. So can you see this, Dirt?
Yeah, you can blow it up a little bit for the people in the chat. Yep. That's good.
Price changes will go into effect for new members for Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, Xbox Game Pass Core, and PC Game Pass. Ultimate goes from $16.99 to $19.99. Game Pass for consoles will no longer be available for new members. New Game Pass tier Xbox Game Pass Standard with a Game Pass catalog, online multiplayer, but no day one Game Pass. Okay, so let's look at that. Now let's go up here to this chart that I think Colabro made. Yeah, here it is. Okay, so this is the new way they do and stuff. This is definitely not made by Xbox. I'm pretty sure Colabro made this. So here's the check marks. This is the new standard one for $15.99. I'm pretty sure because right here's Core, and what's interesting is you could still get a year subscription for Core. So here's the it says it right here. I guess unless Colabro is wrong. Game Pass Standard, which is $14.99, comes with all this, but day one Game Pass.
That's the new tier.
Yeah, you don't get discount codes, which is interesting. I figured you would at least get the discount codes.
Addict, before you move on, I just saw a tweet about Game Pass Standard that said you still for existing PC and Game Pass subscribers, they still get Game Pass in the standard, still get day one games for
Yeah,
existing.
yeah.
Yeah.
So they don't get EA Play. So here's Game Pass Ultimate. It's going up to 20, which I actually feel like 20 is fair for Game Pass. We'll get into a minute on what you think would be too much before, and they get the whole shebang. And then PC Game Pass, they don't pay for online, obviously, which means you've, vocalized that. They don't unlimited catalog of 25 plus games on console. This is a little deceiving because there's not a check mark because this is a console, but you still get a catalog on PC Game Pass.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Yeah, because right here it's the same thing. Game Pass catalog hundreds of games. It's there is a library on PC Game Pass right here. The only reason this isn't checked is because it's not a console. Then obviously day one games, perks, et cetera, et cetera. All right. So first off, tell me your overall perception of this after I get this super chat. $5 super chat for the angry therapist. The price hike I don't mind, but locking day and day higher tier is effed up. So we'll get to that here in a second. One thing I do want you to talk about during this is I want you to end it with the highest that you think would be before they've gotten to the point where, because to me this is Game Pass is about a casual market. Would you not agree?
Yeah,
I do think there's a cap on a casual market. I want your opinion at the end after you tell me your overall perception when you first heard this, what that cap would be.
Well, I can say that first. I believe if it gets over $25,
I would say 25 too.
that's
Maybe
that's
even 30, depending on if Call of Duty does well. Because if you think about it, Call of Duty is such a huge hit. People would play Call of Duty for 3 or 4 months easy.
Yeah.
So if they see themselves saving $30 to $40 on Call of Duty, I could see people paying that.
Yeah. Now as far as everything else, like you said, I agree. $20, I believe, is fair for what Game Pass Ultimate gives you. I believe that's a fair price. It was, it's inevitable. We knew the prices were going up. I know people tried to pull up something where Xbox said, "Yo, we're not raising the prices." I'm pretty sure they met immediately after the ABK deal was finalized. Everybody knew it was going to happen, and eventually, going from $17 to $20, that's not
a big jump.
That's not a big jump.
One thing that I will bring up though is if you're on console and you buy a console with Call of Duty because you want Call of Duty in Game Pass, you will be paying 20. There's no way around that. You will be paying 20.
Yeah.
That's where I start to have issues with it, but continue.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's what it is. It is what it is. They are going to force you to get the Xbox Game Pass Ultimate. And some people have a problem with that, like you. Like the homie, the angry therapist, he got a problem with that. Me personally, I'm like, what do you guys like? Like Netflix, they give you all of their movies, but they have ads now, right? Xbox can't really add ads. These other streaming services they get around, they add ads. So yeah, this tier you have commercials. This tier you have this. So Xbox say, yo, man, if you want all of the games, because they have a hell of a lineup, as we talked about earlier, you are forced to get Xbox Game Pass Ultimate. Now, is it worth it for you if you are one of them guys that only buys Call of Duty and Madden and 2K every year? Game Pass probably is something that wouldn't benefit you. But if you are a hardcore gamer that plays everything like myself, I play everything. That it benefits me, and I love it. So putting the Call of Duty or first party games or day one games, I have to say, because there's also third party games like Flintlock. That's a game that's about to drop into service next week.
I don't know what that means. Do they mean you wouldn't get stuff like Flintlock, or do they mean just their first party title they own?
I think they mean all day one games. That's what I
Okay.
think they mean. I mean,
See, that's part of the issue too. We don't know. Well, they won't.
Yeah.
There wasn't really elaborate on that because their big draw is their first party title. So it is kind of interesting. Do they mean everything? And obviously, I'm pretty sure they mean everything. But it would have been nice to be a little bit more transparent on exactly what they meant.
I saw something Paris said on Twitter today. He said, I do want Xbox to let the standard tier customers know when those day one games are going.
I don't think they'll do that.
I don't think they will either.
I don't think they should either. I don't think that's that.
I love he said, right. I don't think they will. I understood his point. Let them know.
Real quick though, I don't know when movies come out from the movie theater to like HBO Max, do they tell them before it comes out?
No. Some people start to figure it out, like maybe it's 45 days after it's in theaters.
That's my point though. Like you don't know, and I don't think Microsoft owes us that information. It'd be nice for them to be that transparent.
Yeah, but I
don't think Microsoft owes us that information.
But at the end of the day, I'm gonna just be blunt how I truly feel. Do I have a problem with the price increase? No, I don't. Do I have a problem with them forcing people to go to Xbox Game Pass Ultimate? No, I don't. You know why? Because this tier is where you get all of these extra benefits. If you want these extra benefits, you have to pay for it. That's just how I feel.
So first thing, I agree with you. 25 is the absolute max that they can have. 30 on certain circumstances, depending on how well they're growing from a metric standpoint.
That's the limit
Call
right
of Duty.
30.
Yeah, I do think when we're talking about, I don't have an issue with the price thing. I do think it is people that says it's $3. It's $3 for us. It's not $3 for everyone. True. People that are getting into the ecosystem, they will pay $9 extra, and they're not paying $3. You're getting dogfathered.
Who's paying $9? Because I saw some people from the UK saying it's £3 for them also.
I'm talking about if you're a new user on Xbox, you are paying $9 more, not $3.
I got you. Okay.
Because, and to me, even though those people are ignorant, they're not going to know. They're not going to know about, being grandfathered in. I still don't like that practice. It doesn't affect me because even though I'm not subscribed to Game Pass right now, even with that, I still will get the option because I've been in Game Pass before. Like the way I'm perceiving this is the only time that you would get this $20, like this $20 thing, is if you're brand new to Game Pass in general. Because if you try to redeem those like Pop-Tart stuff, it says this is only for a new account. They won't let you redeem that on existing Game Pass things that's expired. It's only for new accounts. So that's, to me, that's what they mean on here. This isn't, if you've been in Game Pass before, you're not affected, even if you're no longer a subscriber right now. But anyone that buys after that date, they won't have the option for that. And to me, it's not necessarily about that because Netflix is doing it, and I don't agree with Netflix either. It's just about, I don't like the way Microsoft treats its console demographic. I don't like the way that the PC people, they don't need to pay for online. We accepted that. Now, not only do they have to pay for online, but they're still getting the option to get the base tier for Game Pass. Now, when you look at a metrics of Ultimate, 88% of the stuff in Ultimate I'm not going to use. I don't do cloud stuff. I rarely use the perks. I rarely use the deals. I don't normally buy anything in Game Pass. So to me, I always was more in the $10 one. I rarely got the $15 one. Well, now 20. So to me, if your business model is Game Pass, giving people the option to get what benefits them and what they actually need is the foremost thing. But that's not what it seems like. during that business meeting, Phil said the reason we're going to PlayStation and we're putting more games on PlayStation was what? Because when you've already drained your existing fan base to a point, you either find other ways or you drain more from them. To me, they're still putting stuff on PlayStation, but the Xbox console owner is the only person getting squeezed. And I don't like that practice. I rest my case.
Okay, so maybe I missed something. The Xbox console owners is the only ones getting squeezed.
Yeah, because we still have to pay for online on any tier. Now the good thing is they did fix the confusing thing with the first tier having online and the second tier not. I'm glad they fixed that confusing. That confusing.
Are you
messaging.
saying because PC doesn't have to pay for online?
They don't have to pay for online, and they still get access to the initial Game Pass without the Ultimate. Like they still get to determine, because to me they're taking choices away from us, but they're not doing it PC. PC for the longest time got exclusives. We didn't. We haven't had an exclusive since Halo 5. They got exclusives. They got no paying online. They'll probably still get exclusives to some degree because some games just don't naturally work on consoles. That's my issue is I don't like the PC community and the Xbox community, and I feel like the only people getting squeezed is us, because then this is what I believe they want. They know that Call of Duty is going to be overwhelmed more on console than PC. Overwhelmingly more on console than PC. And they know there's going to be a lot of people coming in from the streets when Call of Duty hits Game Pass at the end of the year. So they're like, let's sunset the cheap version because we can make these people pay us $20 a month. I get it from a business perspective, that's lit. But from a console perspective, and from someone that's been watching the industry for years, if you do it to me, I expect you do it to the other side too. And I don't like that they still get the option, because that's what they did, Dirk. They took options away from us, but allowed them to keep those options.
Okay. We've been having this conversation for years about Xbox. I'm sorry, about PC, the benefits they get versus consoles. This has been going on for years, since the PS4 Xbox generation, probably even before that. I think is there something the PC community is handled differently than console. I think we've established that for years. It is what it is at this point, bro. I mean, they always get the, okay, let me ask you this. Okay, for people in the chat that's play Helldivers 2 on PC, do they have to pay to play online?
I don't believe they do.
Yeah, so it's like that's something they've always gotten that benefit over console for years. I mean,
but see, I let go of the online thing. I get it. I still don't like it.
It though.
But I was just talking the stuff that's different from each perspective. I haven't talked about the online thing in a long time because it is what it is at this point. But when you're taking it's one thing if there was never an option to get the standard Game Pass thing on Xbox and it was on PC. Okay, that's one thing. That's still slimy. That's one thing. It's another thing to take it away from us and not them. Because to me, you didn't have to do that. You're doing that deliberately because you want the console person to pay more. It's like the Overwatch argument. Remember when the original Overwatch came out, it was $40 on PC because it was just a base game. But if you bought that game on Steam, on Xbox and the consoles, it was $60 because they made you buy bundles that no one wanted.
Okay.
To me, there should be no favoritism in the companies that you run. If you don't feel like you can't boss up these PC people, don't take it out on us. Because that's what I'm saying. They're scared of the PC community. But it doesn't seem like they're scared of the Xbox community one bit.
The PC community is deep, man.
They're deep, and I agree with that. But at the same time, you can't treat another consumer base better than the consumer base. First off, let's be real here. The Xbox, me and you, the people that mainly play on Xbox, we're the ones that's actually kept them afloat for years. And instead of rewarding us, the moment they get these PC people on board, they're like, yeah, cut it. What about the PC people? Well, they won't take that. They won't do it. But the Xbox people will get mad. They'll get over it. Like, that's my thing, is I'm tired of Xbox doing everything in their power to make the console experience less than the PC experience. I understand they're different, and that's not a debate. They are different communities. But if you don't have the balls to stand up to one of them, don't take that out on the other.
Okay, so this is more than just Xbox console versus PC players. This is PC players versus consoles.
No,
because
this is the console players, to me, as a console player, telling Xbox one should equal the other. You shouldn't be taking away options I have because you don't have the balls to take away their options.
Addict, I hate to say this, bro, but some things in life, it is what it is, right?
I feel you, but does that make it right, though?
No, I'm not saying it's right. I'm saying it is what it is.
It is what it is.
There are superstar. Okay, I know you're not a sports guy. Is Michael Jordan going to be treated the same way as some other player on the team? What I'm trying to say is that it might not be worth the fight.
So you're saying PC's the Michael Jordan?
They have, listen, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying they have.
No, that's what you just said.
They have. I'm just giving an example of everybody's not treated the same. That's the example that I'm saying.
I guess to me,
I'm not saying it's right, Addict. I'm not saying it's right.
I feel you.
I'm saying,
but I guess to me, when you look at like something like the PlayStation and Helldivers thing, PlayStation, okay, I get it. We should have told you that you was gonna have to sign into that. That's our bad. But we changing all this stuff. All of you are logging into it because that's how we do things over here. They didn't just bend the knee to them. As much as it hurt Helldivers, I respected the fact that they did not bend the knee to the PC crowd, and they made them get in line. Now, obviously, there's people that didn't. There's a bunch of videos, but to me, I don't like the fact that we lost a tier. Like, we lost a whole tier. Now, I get it. Most people are an ultimate anyway. It's not really a big deal.
Said 90% people is an ultimate.
Well, I would assume so, because they're doing stuff like this to get you an ultimate. So
hey, whatever
just, works. Like, regardless what it is, that's my only thing. It doesn't matter whether or not Microsoft is doing it. Is my thing. Is it's not right. Regardless if it's just how the world works, it's not right.
Hey, PC, those guys, like really back in the 90s, especially the 2000s, even some now, they are known for pirating games, known for protesting. They're the fan base that you kind of just, you know what? Like I said, I'm not saying it's right, but you kind of don't want too much smoke with them. They will pirate your shit.
But I think they're gonna pirate regardless. Like those people
that they will.
Those people that was gonna pirate for any reason, they're gonna pirate regardless. They're looking for a reason to pirate. They're not pirating because of a reason. They're looking for a reason to pirate. Those people are gonna pirate regardless what Microsoft does, because they try to justify pirating with reasons, but it's not that way it goes. They're pirating because it's a game.
But I'm also saying don't piss them off even more, because they will boycott. I'm just saying, listen, y'all might not agree with me. I'm just saying, man, you have to, there's certain fights you don't need. And when you look at the potential of billions with a B of PC players out there, sometimes you just turn your head and ignore certain stuff. Let me read this, because first of all, Snipes, I'm sorry, I don't know who in the hell you are. I've never seen you on any of my platforms. I do several shows a week
That's
on
one of
my
King's
channel.
dudes.
And
It's one of King's dudes.
King, yeah, I've never seen you on my show, so
You might see him now.
yeah, I can't give you the okay to roast me. I never seen you before, bro. I never seen you on any of Dirt Griggity shows. I got a show on Monday, a show on Thursday, and I do TTS on my boy Shaun channel. I never seen you before, so I can't take this. I take this as an insult instead of the homies just joking with me because I never seen you before. So next time you come in my chat, say what up, Dirt, then I know who you are.
Yeah, Dirt is so dark. All I see is the green dot on the top of his head.
I don't know who you are, Snipes. I don't know who you are, man. You can't insult me. I never seen you before. So I take it as that's an insult to me, man. So you got to show up on my channel, man.
Yeah, I feel him on that a little bit, Stice. So, you know, if you never interact with Dirt in any way, shape, or form, you probably shouldn't be saying stuff like that.
I've never seen you before. I never seen you on none of my channels, none of my shows, comment on none of my videos before, bro.
Oh, but that's pretty much all, man. Like, here's my thing. When the Xbox people come at me, the only thing difference is I feel a way about the console. We want the same conclusion, a healthy ecosystem. I just put more of an emphasis behind the console than the next person. I believe exclusives help sell consoles. I believe a healthy ecosystem is with the console in the middle, because for every console sold, you have a guaranteed, almost guaranteed subscription to Game Pass, because it's so valuable. And that's my opinion, is the console should be at the center, not Game Pass, because if you sell a console, most likely you go sell Game Pass eventually.
Yeah, man. We'll see what happens. At the end of the day, for me personally, the price increase isn't a big deal. I know it's console war ammo. Last October, PlayStation raised their prices, and they don't have the content to justify the price raises. The price increases, I should say, and nobody really said much. But now this morning, I saw Jez going at it with Clobrill, Jez going at it with Matt. No, what was it? No, Jeff Grubb.
That's my issue with this whole thing. It's like, just because you have a different philosophy on how things go does not mean either one's right or wrong.
Oh yeah, Jez went at it with you also. That's right. I just thought about that.
Just because you have a different philosophy on how things should be done does not mean you're right or wrong. I rarely tell people they're wrong on scenarios. I spoke my opinion, and sometimes I do it very, very aggressively, but I rarely just come out straight and tell someone they're wrong, because especially situations like the exclusives and making more stuff on multiplat, this has never been done in the industry. This is completely uncharted territories. Nobody knows the correct path of going.
No, Shane G. Jazz wasn't pony bottom. He was actually defending Xbox. Like I said, him and Alec had a conversation. Him and Clobrill, him and Jeff Grubb. So look, man, we all had different opinions. Everybody's opinion is what it is.
And I got a lot of flack for that tweet. That tweet wasn't at the ecosystem. That tweet was how Microsoft treats the console demographic. That's because that's what Clobrill said. Let me find it. I'll read you guys exactly what I said.
Like I told you, Adam, I had a couple of people DM me, hey, what's wrong with your boy Dirt? I was like, I can't speak for that man.
Clobrill said, case. Let me just show it.
Yeah,
because we about to get up out of here anyway. All right, you guys see it?
Yeah, just blow it up a little bit.
Yeah, okay. Clobrill said case-by-case exclusives, which is true. Case-by-case Game Pass additions, which is true. Case-by-case Xbox network outages, which I don't necessarily agree with this one.
Come on, man. It went out for the first time in years.
Yeah, that one's a little uncalled for. Xbox players living case-by-case life. Look, besides that last one, I agree with Clobrill. Like, when you're like an Xbox gamer, like an actual Xbox gamer, it looks shady sometimes being an Xbox gamer. I mean, you just admitted earlier that, regardless how we feel about it, even though we don't agree it's right, we still can't. I mean, even when we don't agree, it's right. We still can't agree that it's wrong either. I said this tweet is all you need to read. Xbox has lost its way, and I'm starting to think it won't find it again. Now,
that's a little harsh, Addy. That's a little harsh, bro.
But on my perspective, I was talking on as an Xbox user. Maybe I should have been more clarification on that. As being part of the Xbox ecosystem, it feels like they lost their way to me because it doesn't feel like they care about my standpoint at all. Now, I understand people, they can have their opinions on that, and that's fine. But in my opinion, when it comes to just the Xbox platform, sometimes I'm looking over there, and I agree with some people. It does feel like sometimes they try to push you over to PC because they give you the best deals over there, and now an exclusive Game Pass tier over there. And I get it. We can disagree on stuff like that, and that's fine. It's like I said, they had exclusive games for a while. The one thing you can't say about me is you can't say I ain't been consistent.
Yeah,
I've been consistent. When they did the Xbox the exclusive PC games, I was consistent that that's bullshit. It's different if a game can't function on PC, and they are doing better. Like this RTS game's coming out for Xbox at the same time, but that used to be an exclusive to PC.
Okay.
Hey, Gears Tactics used to be an exclusive to PC.
Yeah, it was.
And that was my point. Is I don't understand if these games can clearly run on the Xbox. Why are we giving them exclusivity on anything? I don't care if it's time. Delay that sucker. They should come out on both systems at the same time. The online infrastructure, I've complained about that for years. Regardless if it's how it is, and that's how, the PC crowd has been catered, and they scared to step up to them, doesn't make it right. Now we got to the Game Pass thing. I understand. Once again, the PC mafia will come for you. So we don't push on them a whole lot, but it still doesn't make it right the way they treat console demographic.
All right. Before we get out of here, let me say this. What you're saying, to me, is kind of like this, man. It seems like you're looking for ways to complain about Xbox. That's how it seemed to me. Let me explain. You said it's like they're pushing you away from the console. Okay, that's your opinion.
Well, it's not that I'm saying they're pushing me away. I'm saying that's the message they're giving. I'm not going nowhere. You
are the first person I heard say that, because people. The consoles are still important because everybody is not a PC gamer. Xbox knows that. Everybody is not a PC gamer. I am not a PC gamer. I like to play on consoles. And guess what? They're still going to make another console for us console players. The PC does have some advantages. Yes, they do have some advantages over console, whether it's like whatever, they don't have to pay for multiplayer. But then again, sometimes consoles, for me personally, it's just you sit down and you play. Sometimes PC have other issues that you have to deal with. I'm starting to think that PC. I don't know why PC bothers you so much. I really don't. It's like me. It just doesn't bother me as much. Me personally, it just doesn't bother me because I'm a console player. There are PC players. They have certain benefits, but I'm happy where I'm at. I'm happy with my console. I'm happy sitting on my sofa with my 80-inch TV playing video games. That's what I'm happy with. PC players are happy with what they're happy with. So at the end of the day, even though PC has way more advantages, does it matter to us console players? They've had the advantages for years. They've been playing console games on PC for years with no multiplayer charges. PlayStation and Xbox. Xbox in the past and now, PlayStation more recently because they have games on PC. It just doesn't matter to me personally.
First off, E-Rank said, why ask for PC treatment to be worse instead of console treatment to be better? PC shouldn't have to pay more. Online access should be free on console. I ain't disagreeing with you. That was my first thing, is it should be a free across the whole line. I'm not saying to charge PC people. I'm just saying if you ain't willing to do it to one, you shouldn't try to do it to the other. That's my thing. Now, when it comes to allegations, that's why I'm calling them dirt allegations. To me thinking, they're pushing that way. I'm not saying they're pushing me to PC. I'm saying the message they give is the best experience is PC. Now, obviously, I have been king.
PC is the best though, as far as if you have the rig, it is the best.
I'm saying in terms of the Xbox ecosystem.
Okay.
Now, when it comes to that, I'm just saying that's what they give you. That's the perception. Now, obviously, most people ain't gonna know that, and PC has some of the most bullshit shit that's ever happened in gaming. I remember playing Destiny 2, broke me on the PC experience. So I ain't going nowhere. But it's frustrating that a place I don't want to go continues to get more deals and more benefits to being by the platform that I bought by the company that owns the platform.
All right, man. I mean, I understand. We
it's
agree
like
to
I say,
disagree.
we could, and it's totally fine. Like, I understand, like, for you, it's not a big deal. Like, it's not even a big deal to me. It's just I don't like the practice. That's what I don't like. I don't like the practice. I remember me complaining about the practices of early access games. I didn't like that either. When they would sell you an Ultimate Edition for $90 and you got access to the game 5 days early, all that really did was move up the street date 5 days and make you pay for it. I didn't like that. But it is what it is when it comes to that. It's just like I've been consistent about it. Like, I want the Xbox console to be treated better. That's all. No more, no less. That's all. And Snipes.
Okay, Snipes said, I listen to your show all the time, Dirt. Never catch it live. TTS. Okay, brother. I didn't know that. But, just leave a comment on one of my videos. My videos.
He got to see you somewhere before you start commenting on his black head.
Yeah, talking about the spot, man. It's light, the spot in my head, man.
What it is greens reflecting off your head.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Got a $20 Spartan 661. Why can't the console Game Pass have online the console day and date in library? Some people don't have high-powered PCs, Fire Sticks, handhelds. Some people just want the console experience, especially if you are on a budget. My point exactly. But my thing is, you shouldn't be penalized for choosing the console experience. That's my thing. The same service shouldn't be offered somewhere else at a discounted rate when you are playing the same games on that service. That's my thing. I want the console people to be treated equally with the PC counterparts.
That ain't gonna happen, bro. I'm telling you that right now.
Oh, I know, because they scared, man. They scared of that.
That ain't gonna happen,
and
bro.
I get it. See, look, the PC community's made multiple companies bend the knee. I get it. I get it. Like,
hey, let me tell you something before we get out of here. There's a guy
from Snipes.
There's a guy at my job. This guy does nothing. He'll do 3 jobs a day while the rest of us do 20. This guy's been doing it for years. Management never says nothing to this guy. You know why? This guy, they're scared of him. He's lawyered up all the time. He has sued my company in the past and won. They don't want to touch this guy. What I'm trying to say is, there's some people you just say, you know what, it's not even worth it. The PC community, they ain't about to rock out with the PC community, man. They ain't about to mess with them. It's unfortunate they get certain benefits that we don't. But at the end of the day, it is what it is.
And I feel you, and that's why I said, like, I wish they would go more on the I don't agree. I wish they would do more on, like, okay, we don't got the kahunas to go against the PC master race, so we're gonna keep the same energy on console. That's my only thing. But
okay,
we went over.
Fair enough, bro. Fair enough.
Was over and over again.
Fair enough.
Snipes with the 5 super chat again.
Knew that would get you, Dirt. You the man and your show rocks. Well, thank you, Snipes. Thank you.
He gonna have to
hope
see
to
some super
see your
chat
comments
show,
sometime.
You're gonna have to give him a super thanks, Snipes. If you don't watch it live, you're gonna have to give him a super thanks.
Hey, yo, legendary Yobi, I'm telling you, man, this guy gets away with the craziest stuff, man, and they don't say nothing to him. I've had a supervisor talk to me personally, like how he can't stand a guy.
Do you get annoyed?
Well, yeah, well, yes, but at the same time,
you get annoyed. You get annoyed,
but,
then, right?
Hold on, but at the same time,
Oh no, I got you, Dirt. You get annoyed. I got you.
No, hold on, wait. Well, let me explain.
Let me explain.
Let me explain. We get annoyed because they would talk to us about our numbers, but wouldn't talk to him about his numbers, right? But here it is. We know we can't get in trouble because he ain't getting in trouble. So we're using that. We're using what he does in our benefit, in our favor, I should say. So it doesn't matter, bro. It doesn't matter. Man.
Yeah, so a super thanks is Black John. A super thanks is pretty much a super chat in the comment section after the podcast.
Oh yeah.
It's pretty much a way that I couldn't make it to live. I want to show support. Here's the super thanks.
Those are cool, man. Because like we get one of those is really cool.
Super chats are really great, but a super thanks to me means like I don't even care that I'm not acknowledged. I just wanted to show you love. That's what I see when I see a super thing. I love all of them, man. Any kind of support. I love you guys. Support. You guys show up every week, especially the streams you guys have been showing up. Like you guys are one of the reasons that I didn't go crazy during my breakup, because I was able to like stream Elden Ring and just chill with the chat. $5 super chat for Mark City. And as a console Game Pass sub, I got 2 copies. PC only gets 1. I'm good with that. I feel you, but what? But if you don't play on PC, then you get 1 too. I get it. Like there's a very small amount, but still, like Snipes knows what a super thanks is. He does it to King all the time. I feel what you're saying, and I understand that it's a small percentage of people that didn't have Ultimate, but I was one of them that just had regular Game Pass and not Ultimate, because I don't necessarily take advantage of like the cloud streaming and stuff. So I didn't see the reason in wasting money on that. Dirt's putting his YouTube channel in there. There. I
dropped a video today, man. I'm talking about this stuff, this Game Pass stuff. And I'm talking crap about some PlayStation fanboys like your boy Tim Dog. I said, stop crying, man.
Right there, Snipe. There's the link. Go show them what you know what a super thanks is.
Attic and Dirt is back.
I got a $2 super chat from Stage Onyx. Sony made a deal with the Power World creator. When did that just happen?
Yeah, I saw that earlier. They're not talking about the game yet. It's something else, like Sony Music something. I don't know, but I'm sure the game will be on there eventually.
That was a big game for Xbox.
Yeah, it was, bro. That was the hell, man. That game sold. Well, they had like 12 million players on PC, 7 million players on Xbox. That was a pretty big game, bro. It wasn't my cup of tea. I downloaded and played it. It wasn't my cup of tea, but yeah, man. Thanks to Red Sapi. Thank you, bro.
Tomorrow I was gonna play Resident Evil 4 some more, but I think I might take a day off and play Fable or something, because I ain't gonna lie, I'm getting old because jump scares are getting to me now.
Oh, come on, Addict. Jump scare.
I'm getting old.
Come on, Addict. Just hey, man.
I'm the super chat dude. I'm getting me that coin this week. Gold hoarder in the gals. That's what's up, man.
Hey, man. Crispy Rambo called us a dude loving Virgil. You're a young guy. You might not know those wrestlers.
No, I don't. What's funny is one of my friends, like, she's really into WWE, and she's never been to a
live show.
No, she's been to a live show. What's their Super
WrestleMania?
WrestleMania.
Yeah,
I was like, I might have to go to WrestleMania.
Those tickets are expensive, bro.
I saw they're like $500.
Yeah, but that's like that might be like the nosebleed. But that'd be cool, man. Yeah, it's cool, man. I don't know, like, where is it next year? I don't know where it is next year.
Los Angeles.
Oh, it is? Okay.
Or Las Vegas, one or the other. But I
Yeah, it's
appreciate
one
her
of them.
coming through, man. Who we
All right,
raiding today? Who we raiding? Let's see.
Fossil, my Detroit Lions. Watch out, Fossil. Going to the Super Bowl.
Let me make sure this dude's actually at his computer before I raid you guys with him. I want you to go like me and this dude. We argue a lot. I ain't gonna lie. He's PD from LogNet, but he definitely puts in work. He really tries, and I really appreciate if you guys go over there and show him as much love as you possibly can. And once again, this dude is not at his computer. Every time I try to raid this dude, he is not at his computer. But I'm gonna raid him anyway. Go in there and harass. I want you guys to go in there and just say something, act like bots. Well, what's something that we could say that make him think he got bot rated? Ask him, do you want any artwork? Like say something like that over and over again, so he thinks he's been botted. I want it to seem so. You guys gotta all say the same thing though. Yeah, what is that thing on Twitter that they say? Nudes in the bio or something?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, go over there, man. Go over there and have a good time with him. I'm gonna send you guys over to him. He's a good dude. Me and him just don't get along sometimes, but he puts his heart in work in it. His name is Lord PDTV. Lord P. There you go, Barry. Yeah, copy and paste that. Copy and paste.
Yo. Man, he'll probably think, "Oh man, what the hell happened, man?"
Well, yeah, probably don't say that, guys. But go there and say something that, 3 hours and no sweating.
That'd be funny, bro.
Oh my god. Woo. All right,
I'm going there just like talking about WWE stuff. John Cena last WrestleMania.
What's he playing? Hold up, he's playing World of Warcraft. Tell him you don't like World of Warcraft. No, go in there and show him love, guys. Go in there and show him love. We'll talk to you later.
Peace out, y'all. It's funny, bro.